and Sid in the morning. Talk life.
They could have anything they want.
Talk now.
Give us a break sometimes. Life is hard.
It's my life. 800-848-WABC.
I was raised out of Steelhead Swamp, Jersey.
Great song. Ago. This is Wrecking Ball. He did a live version of this at Giants Stadium years ago. He says that I've seen champions come and go, the football giants. Bruce Springsteen. So we all talk in New Jersey. So next guest is one of my dearest friends now for many, many years. Dating back to the days when he became a fan of mine with Bernie and Imus and WFAN. And then we really forged this great friendship. He used to actually be my web designer. SidRosenberg.com, all my social media sites. He did it all for me. All of it. He actually taught me about social media. Now he's got a terrific job. He lived down in Port St. Lucie for many years. Now he's back in New Jersey, and he works for the Observer Online. He's a really bright guy, terrific writer. And he's really upset with the governor, Phil Murphy. And I think when Kevin Canessa explains to you why he's pissed at Phil Murphy, if you're not, you will be. So here he is, Bernie, our friend Kevin Canessa. Good morning, Nessie.
Hello, Kevin.
Good morning, Bernie. Good morning, Sid. And before we talk about the governor, one thing you once taught me was that to be a good interviewer, you just have to have a conversation with somebody. It's not an interview. And that's why you do what you do, and that's why you do it the best of anybody.
Thank you. I do say that. I would never say I do interviews. We have conversations. Thank you. All right, well, let's have a conversation right here. The piece is on the Observer Online. It's an open letter, an editorial to the governor, Phil Murphy. Bernie and I are fans of Chris Christie. We don't particularly like Phil Murphy, and you obviously don't. So fill in the audience as to what's going on here.
Well, to set it up, Kearney is the town where this is happening, and it's in Hudson County. And when Phil Murphy ran against the lieutenant governor a couple of years ago, he got 4-1 margin of victory in this town that we're talking about, Kearney. And so he was really a very popular guy in Kearney. And a couple of months ago, there were these odors that were coming from somewhere. We didn't know exactly what it was at first. It smelled like a hard-boiled egg peeled times 100. It was just a really vulgar smell. You walk out your house, your kids are out to play, you smell it. It turns out the smells were coming from a place called the Keegan Landfill, which was supposed to be closed years ago, but for whatever reason it stayed open. And it turns out that the smell is being caused by a gas called hydrogen sulfide. In great concentration, hydrogen sulfide could kill a human being, but in lower concentration, it can hurt people's lungs, cause breathing problems, and things of that nature. And so because Phil Murphy's New Jersey Sports and Exposition Authority refused to do anything, the mayor of Kearney, Alberto Santos, put in these meters that read what type of gas is coming out of the landfill. And an acceptable number is 30 parts per billion, and there have been readings that are 8 times that amount. It was 248 parts per billion was the highest reading so far. So because the governor has sat back and said the science is no good and lied, basically, and because he collects $25 million a year from towns and businesses that dump sheetrock in that part of the dump.
Well, that's the key. That's the key. He's getting $25 million, so he doesn't care if little kids are showing up with breathing problems, which you're going to give Bernie and I examples of because he needs that $25 million.
That's right. And in fact, from what I understand, a source has told me this, and I can't confirm it, but $25 million is basically the same amount of the operating budget of the New Jersey Sports and Exposition Authority.
Right.
Now that might change because of the American Dream that's coming over by MetLife Stadium. But for now, what we understand is that's the majority of their operating budget every year. They have an executive director, Vincent Prieto, who used to be an assemblyman, who makes $268,000 a year to sit there and do nothing, basically. And, there was a man who came to a meeting of the NJSEA a couple of months ago, and he told a story about his 2-day-old baby boy. The doctor said that after this lung surgery that this 2-day-old boy had, he had to live in a town where the air quality was good. And there's no way this man who just bought a house in Kearney can stay because the air quality is so bad, and his baby at 2 days old with this surgery, it's just not an acceptable level of hydrogen sulfide for this kid to survive. So he's probably going to have to sell his house, which he bought 6 months ago.
And he'll sell it for a cheap price, no doubt. I mean, knowing that the landfill is a toxic landfill is next door to your house, he's going to suffer in that regard as well. But it doesn't help also, Kevin Canessa, from the Observer Online with this open letter to Governor Phil Murphy, that you have your senator, Senator Menendez, the accused rapist. He comes from this corrupt Hudson County Democratic machine, which was where Kearney is located. I mean, nobody's going to help you.
No, but Bob Menendez lives in Harrison, which is on the border of Kearney. We're two very connected towns, a lot of people in common. We all like each other. And Menendez lives in Harrison now. And in some parts, this landfill is actually closer to Harrison than it is Kearney. So Menendez has said not a single word. Cory Booker has not said a single word, nor have any of the state representatives, all Democrats, have not said a single word about this. And let me tell you something, Bernie Sid. This is not a partisan issue, but it's becoming that now because Murphy refuses to do anything, and he got 18,000 votes in Kearney in 2017. He's not going to get 2 in 2021 if this continues.
Wow, this is bad. And of course, no, it's not partisan. They just happen to be the guys in charge. These politicians. So,
but I know that you've got a petition out there, Kevin, because lots of times things like this, these grassroots type of things. But you're doing a great job by writing this story on the Observer Online in New Jersey. Now, of course, you're on this big show. But truth is that sometimes at the very beginning, grassroots, you end up getting a lot of stuff done. I know there's a petition out there to get rid of this thing. Yeah, how many signatures do you have right now?
Well, Christina Montague, who is a civilian, lives in Kearney. She has put this together, and she has done a tremendous job. There's only 5,000 signatures in a town of 41,000. And right, so people, I'm not sure everybody knows about it, so they can go to theobserver.com and sign the petition right there. You don't have to be a resident of Hudson County or Kearney or Harrison to sign it. Anybody can sign it. And unfortunately, there's only 5,000 signatures. And Christina's done a great job getting the word out there, but it's just not enough signatures right now.
And Kevin, tell us, just Earth Day just came and went, and tell us what happened on that day. I mean, it was pretty, as you put it, audacious.
He has a set of balls like I've never seen in my life. The governor was in Jersey City on the same day there was a protest with almost 1,000 people in Kearney to protest this landfill. He was 5 miles away at Liberty State Park running a 5K Earth Day run.
Unreal.
And yes, and a reporter from a competing newspaper of ours asked him about the landfill, and he said, "I don't want to talk about that. I'm here to run a race."
Wow.
So, yeah, so he's been very, very arrogant about it, and so has John Ballantyne, who's the chairman of the NJSEA. They just blow off any time they have these meetings and residents show up. They think they have the right answers. And there is just godforsaken proof that if you breathe this gas in at too high a level, you're going to get sick, and you're going to get violently sick. And my boss, Lisa Fiorenzo, she owns the newspaper, Bernie Sid, and she was asthmatic. Her asthma went away for many years, and since she moved back to Kearney a couple of years, it's been brutal.
It came back?
Deeply. Yeah, she talks so deeply and so loudly in the office that it gets scary. But then when she goes away, she goes down the shore on the weekends. Sometimes it goes away.
Right.
So if that's not proof right there that this is being caused by this hydrogen sulfide, I don't know what there is.
Story is the Observer Online, as Kevin just said. It's an editorial, an open letter to Governor Phil Murphy. You heard how great Kevin was on the air just now. Great. So you can imagine how good the story is. It's our dear buddy Kevin Canessa looking out for the folks in New Jersey, unlike the governor, who doesn't care. Kevin, we love you, pal. That was a great job.
Really?
Great story and a great job on the show.
Bernie.
Godspeed, man.
Thank you very much for the time. Appreciate it, guys.
Great job. Kevin Canessa. Here on Bernie and Sid, we'll take a short break. We're coming right back.
Suck these big artist balls.
Bernie and Sid in the morning, 77.